Alright, my name is Matthew Rainey. This is for FTT 221 Week 3 Practical Application for Mr. Scott Parr's class. Today's date is December 15th, 2022. If you see me keep looking to my left, it's because I have all my instructions printed out for exactly what I need to show for this class or for this practical application. I do not have a rifle that I'm mounting this to, so I'm using a piece of 2x4. I already have everything secured down to where I need it attached to my 2x4. As you see, it's all secured down already. Sorry, I heard my puppy. But we're lapping in scope rings. I've got my scope sitting over here somewhere. Top of my printer. I've got everything laid out for me to do this. So let's go ahead and get started. I've already got my scope rings here. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the top of these scope rings off. I'm just going to spin them around. Nah, I'm going to go ahead and take them all the way off. So that way we can see exactly what we're working with. So that way I can check them for any burrs. I did not feel like trying to go through my drill bits find the right size bit for my drill, so I'm just using the little wrench or the little Allen wrench that came with this. I'm first feeling for any burrs. Don't feel any on the bottom side, don't feel any on the top side. So now we're going to take these, we're going to sit them in there, sits nice and flush. Take the top rings, sit them in. Going to lightly screw it down so it holds it secure. We're not going to be shooting this, so it doesn't have to be super tight. Yes, there will be a lot of quiet points in this video while I work. The purpose of this, of lapping the rings, is to make sure that we don't have any bare points. And I can already tell just by looking at it. I don't know if you could tell, but they do not line up, so we're going to have to take a good bit off. Maybe not. Let me tighten these on down, so that way we can see a little bit more of what we're working with. It probably would have been better if this slide was a little bit longer, but it works for the job, and not everybody's going to have a long slide they're working with, so it's good to learn with. So this is what we're going to use, and this is what was provided with the school, or by the school, and this is what they wanted us to use, so this is what we're going to use. I'm going to tighten it down a little bit more than what I was planning on. Alright, that one's no longer rocking. This one still is. That means there's a lot of play. That means we're not going to get the precision we needed. I'm going to make sure these tips are touching, or almost touching. Finish tightening these down where it don't wobble. Alright, that side don't wobble, that side don't wobble. Now we're going to pick it up, we're going to inspect it. It's a hair off. Normally I wouldn't worry about something that much off. It's maybe a 32nd of an inch off. But if you're dealing with a high caliber scope, you want it as close to perfect as possible. So we're going to take these back off. Set them to the side. While we're doing this, we're going to make sure to remember which top ring we had where, on which side, and which direction they faced. So that way, once we're all done, we're not messing ourselves up and having to relap it. Instruction says at least 2 images, but I'm not doing pictures, I'm doing a video. Alright, we're going to get the compound right here. It's a Willer 220 grit lapping compound. Got my Q-tip, my lapping compound. Instructions don't really say how much, so we're going to give it a good generous amount. As you can see, put some there on the bottom ring, put some on top ring, it's all gone, so we're going to get a little bit more. Not too worried about the cotton getting mixed in, we can work with that a little bit. Get some more, we're going to put it over here on the bottom ring. This has probably got some sand in it, it's got some type of grit to help it remove some of the stuff off, or some of the metal off. It should go a lot smoother than just trying to use sandpaper. It'll give it a lot more uniformed look. We're going to take our lapping board, we're going to place it in. We're going to get our handle, go ahead and screw that handle on in. We're going to screw our top rings back down now. We're not going to get it super duper snug, because we're not doing it for a mounting purpose. So we want it to be able to rotate a little bit. We don't want to have to fight it real hard. And as we rotate it, and as it gets looser, we will tighten it down some more until we get that 30 seconds of an inch off. We get it nice and smooth. Yes, this is going to be one of my longer videos I've ever created, but it will be well worth it at the end. There we go, we got it in. Now we're going, whoops, guess I didn't have that secured in very well. That also goes to tell me I had this a little too tight. So we need to back this off. It doesn't help that the screws they sent are not wood screws, they're metal screws. There we go. We can tighten it up a little bit more now. If the screws were a little bit longer, it wouldn't have popped loose. Or if I had done this on metal, it wouldn't have popped loose. But I'm doing it on a 2x4. Starting to get a little bit easier. We may be getting close. So now I'm going to take it all apart. So we didn't need much. We have to remember to keep everything in the position it was in already. I'm more expecting metal to be shown on the bottom end, on the bottom rings, not the top rings. Just like I was expecting. We're showing good. I'm gonna grab some paper towels and some degreaser. I like using alcohol, rubbing alcohol. It's cheap. It's readily available. You don't have to go to any special places to get it. It does an amazing job. I've been using it all throughout this course, or all throughout these classes. Oh yeah, we got some bare metal showing. Like I said, this wouldn't have popped off if the screws were a little bit longer, or if I was actually doing it in the metal. If I had mounted it in the metal, but I didn't have a rifle to mount it into. I thought I had one, but the base was just a little bit too wide. And I'm not going to mount something onto my firearms that I do not like the looks of. If that already had an AR-15 or something, I probably would have. But I don't. There we go, the rings. Top rings. There we go, the bottom rings. Still got a little bit of gunk left in there, so I'm just going to grab another paper towel and wipe over it again. Just try to help clean it off some. Looking much better. We're going to take these, put them back on. We're going to go ahead and secure it down tight. And from looking at it, we're dead on. So now I'm going to take it all back apart. I put that on there backwards. And in the wrong spot. I normally use longer screws, but I used what screws came with this kit. the same spot. Alright, since we've got everything showed how we've mounted it all, now we're going to show the scope on there. So now we're going to pull the scope out. This is the first time I'm pulling this scope out of the box to even look at it. Alright, so what we're going to do now is... Alright, you look through that side, so we're going to set it in just like that. Attach that on there. Scope is mounted. Once again, my name is Matthew Rainey. This is for FTT 221. Mr. Scott Parr's class. Today's date is December 15th, 2022. This is the practical application. There we go. It's mounted. It's level. Plenty of clearance on both sides. We are good to go. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy. And I do apologize about it being so long.